When he walked into the courtroom, everyone knew this wouldn't be an ordinary case. Tuesday, New England Municipal Court. Morning docket. A line of drivers shuffles forward. Parking, noise, rolling stops. The judge's mic clicks alive. The air conditioner hums a steady bass. On the wall, respect the court, remove hats and headphones. The flag stands behind the bench, colors dull in fluorescent light. He's 22, hoodie stamped County Sheriff Academy, headphones the size of fists over his ears. He drops into a chair without looking up, thumbs tapping a screen that throws cold light on his jaw. "Good morning," the judge says, even. "Please remove your headphones." He doesn't move. The senior bailiff steps closer, voice sanded smooth by 1,000 mornings. "Sir, remove the headphones in court." A lazy tug, and one ear cup slides down. "I can hear you just fine," he says, then reseats it like a visor and returns to the phone. Benches creak. In the second row sit veterans and retirees with ticket folders on their knees. A thin man with a flag pin, Mr. Russo, stares at the headphones, his right hand closing to a slow fist, then opening. A clerk's pen ticks against a legal pad. The AC buries everyone in sound. The judge takes the next parking case, then the next, calm and quick. The line inches. The kid in the hoodie swipes his phone, pauses. An iMessage banner pops. "Dad, I'm in the building. Don't say anything." His mouth tightens at one corner. Somewhere a sneaker taps, 3 dry beats, stops. When his name is called, the clerk's tone is neutral. "Tyler Carter." A murmur skims the room. "Carter?" He stands, sleeves tugged over the knuckles. The clerk slides a thin stack across. Not one citation. 3. Noise complaint, 2:13 a.m., subwoofer shaking a triple-decker. Rolling stop through a school zone before dawn. Parking, City Hall. Slot marked Gold Star families. Pages whisper. The judge reads timestamps, notations, the officious abbreviations that make small wrongs look like equations. The clerk leans in, voice a thread. "Your Honor, the plate numbers in the complaint. Government issue." The judge's shoe taps once under the bench. In the back row, someone breathes the rumor out like steam. "Deputy's kid." Tyler lifts his chin at the word, eyes unfocused behind the headphones. He thumbs his lock screen, and the device vibrates once on the wooden rail. The bailiff's shoulders square. The young court staff share a thin, tired smile that says they've seen worse and expect more. The judge closes the folder. The mic clicks again. "We're going to pause the general docket." Heads rise. A paper calendar flips. The pen stops ticking. "Mr. Carter," the judge says, voice level, carrying, "we'll take your matter separately. Let's understand what we're really dealing with here." The room settles into a different kind of quiet. No air, no hum, only the scrape of a chair as the bailiff repositions and the soft thunk of the clerk stamping the new line on the schedule. The ordinary morning is over. "State your name for the record." "Tyler Carter," he says, steady, eyes on the bench, headphones still haloing his head. The judge's look flicks to the sign on the wall, then back. "Explain why you refuse to remove them." "I have sound issues," Tyler answers. "Headphones help." His thumb brushes the phone screen, not quite touching. The clerk types, age 22, county address, no counsel retained. The judge keeps his voice cool. "Noted. We'll proceed." Pieces of Tyler spool out in the room, not as excuses, but as facts. Father: Deputy Frank Carter, 18 years with the sheriff's office. Mother: school system nurse, known at back-to-school clinics and flu drives. A family people wave to at parades. School, community college, 1 year and out. Since then, odd shifts, delivery routes, Side gigs. Saturdays he sometimes helps Dad, which in their house means errands, and, on quiet weekends, a turn behind the wheel of the pool unit when Frank's on call. Legal if supervised, gray if not. Everyone feels that line. Your attitude toward this court? The judge asks, not unkind. Tyler's jaw tenses. I'm here, he says. I'm listening. A hand rises from the benches. Mrs. Delgado, cardigan neat, hair set the way it's been for 30 years. Your Honor, she says, palms folded around a slip showing a 311 case number. I filed that night. My husband's recovering from surgery. The base went through the walls. I asked nicely first. She glances at Tyler, not angry, tired. The parking enforcement officer steps forward with a tablet. Body cam clip, Your Honor. On the screen, a curb at City Hall and Tyler's hoodie, unmistakable. His voice, clear as an announcement. Boomers get mad so fast. He's looking into his own phone camera, grinning. He answers remarks off-frame. Whatever sound issues he claims, he was hearing just fine. A cough, a mutter. Mr. Russo's eyebrows lift and flatten. The clerk logs the exhibit. We hope you enjoyed this incredible story. At Caprio Uncovered, we bring you inspiring moments of justice and compassion. Let us know where you're watching from. It's always amazing to see how far these stories reach around the world. Tyler tries a different path. My girlfriend's a night nurse, he says. She had a migraine. I was rushing. I parked in the Gold Star spot 2 minutes. Tops. The judge doesn't blink. Proof? Tyler offers a text. You okay? The timestamp doesn't match the meter data. 17 minutes off. The judge sets the phone down as if it were warm glass. No raised voices. Just the click of the mic. The soft wheeze of the vent. The way Tyler can't keep still, rolling to one hip, rubbing his neck, tugging a sleeve over the heel of his hand. The headphones are suddenly heavy. Not armor, but weight. A few staffers exchange a look at the word boomers, amusement edged with fatigue. The judge ignores the noise around the noise and narrows to procedure. We'll put the sensitivities aside, he says evenly. Start simple. He turns a page so the top line faces Tyler. The vehicle cited in each incident. Who is it registered to? The question hangs there, harmless as a doorknob until you try it. The clerk's cursor blinks. The bailiff stops mid-step. Tyler's gaze slips to the table, then to the courtroom seal above the flag. Answer the question, Mr. Carter. The clerk's screen reflects in her glasses as she keys the plate. A small electronic chirp, then rows of DMV text fill the monitor. Vehicle is a sheriff's pool unit, she reports, assigned to Deputy Frank Carter for on-call use. A pause tightens the room. The judge leans forward. If it's an on-call unit, why was it parked at your address at 2:13 a.m., Mr. Carter, when your father was marked off duty? Tyler's reply stalls in his throat. He lets me take it sometimes. Sometimes, the judge repeats, neutral as a ledger. Clerk, note a potential policy issue. The parking citation photos come next. City Hall's curb. The stenciled words, Gold Star Families. The grille of a government sedan. Hanging from the mirror. A blue placard, edges frayed. The clerk lowers her voice. Placard registered to Isaac Carter. Date of death recorded last year. Status: invalid. You can feel the temperature drop. Paper edges rasp as the clerk slips the printout into an exhibit sleeve. The senior bailiff studies Tyler, then the sneakers. White with customized laces, odd pattern of knots. Weren't you in that street racing clip last summer? He asks, not accusing, just a memory checked against a face. Mask on, but same shoes. Not me, Tyler says too quickly. A younger parking officer stands, the brim of his cap pinched flat from anxious hands. Your Honor, after his TikTok cut of my stop, I was put on leave a week while they reviewed it. He edited it to look like I was out of line. No heat, just the flatness of a man who learned to live below the comment scroll. It stops being about a loudspeaker or a roll through a sign. It becomes favors, exemptions, and the kind of online theater that makes public servants into caricatures. The judge doesn't raise his tone. We'll recess for 5 minutes. Clerk, ask the sheriff's command to send someone prepared to speak to vehicle policy. Chairs scrape. The AC hum returns to the foreground. Out on the street, a siren climbs and slides away. Before the minute hand moves, the side door opens. Deputy Frank Carter steps in, uniformed, cap in hand, a folder tucked beneath his arm. He catches himself looking toward his son, stops, faces the bench. Deputy Carter, the judge says, the title crisp, the distance intentional. You're here not as a father. You're here as the custodian of a pool vehicle and a representative of departmental policy. Take a seat. Frank nods once and sits at the small table, eyes on the front edge of the folder rather than on Tyler. The clerk stamps a new line on the docket. The neat thump lands like a gavel without echo. The judge glances to the seal, then to the flag, then back to Frank. When we resume, he says, we'll address who may operate that vehicle and under what authority. The recess ends with no talking, only the faint squeal of a door closer settling into its catch, the whisper of a form slid across polished wood, the soft electronic chime as the clerk reopens the DMV record. The ordinary case is gone. What remains is policy, accountability, and names that match on screens and in the room. The judge returns to the bench and speaks to the uniform, not the man. Deputy Carter, outline your department's policy on pool vehicles and family access. Frank opens the folder. Pages are tabbed, underlined. Policy 6.12. Pool units are for official business. No civilian use. Family members may not operate unless the deputy is on duty and present. He swallows. On quiet weekends, I've let him drive. I was off duty that night. The judge's pen makes a single mark. No speech, no scold, just ink. Next item, he says, the disabled placard displayed in the photographs. The clerk slides a record across. Placard issued to Isaac Carter, deceased last year. Status, expired. Frank doesn't look up. It should have been turned in. It stayed in the glove box. That's on me. A small rustle moves through the benches at the name Isaac. Someone's father, someone's grandfather. Mr. Russo's jaw sets. His eyes don't leave the mirror tag in the photo. From the aisle, the parking officer who brought the tablet shifts his weight. Your Honor, I can identify the clip that circulated. He taps. The screen shows the curb, the sign for Gold Star families, the grinning close-up. Titles pop like confetti. In the comment feed, a familiar name glows. The deputy's public account has left a heart. The judge turns to Frank. Did you endorse this video? Frank's answer is barely above breath. I scrolled. I hit like without thinking. I regret it. The courtroom quiets, not punitive, wounded. The judge's voice stays measured. In this room, a Gold Star designation is not decoration. It is grief in public trust. He looks to Tyler. Remove the headphones, entirely. Tyler hesitates, then lifts them off and sets them on the table as if they might bruise the wood. For the first time he meets faces, not a screen. Mrs. Delgado's lined patience, the parking officer's tired posture, Mr. Russo's steady focus. No bass, no filters, only people. We will address fines, the judge says, closing the folder and resting both hands atop it. But not before we address conduct. This court exists to keep order, yes, but also to remind adults of obligations they already know. He nods to the clerk. Mark the policy admissions. Note the expired placard. Enter the video exhibit and the deputy's acknowledgement. Paper edges align. The flag by the bench barely stirs in the conditioned air. Frank's shoulders drop a fraction, as if a strap finally slipped. The judge sweeps the room with a glance that neither lectures nor invites argument. Numbers are simple, he says at last. Conscience is harder. He squares the file. We'll leave amounts for later. First, we will speak about respect, for the living who serve and for the fallen who cannot answer. He looks from father to son. Mr. Carter, you'll hear from the people you affected. The clerk organizes two neat stacks, one for penalties, one for remedies. A single paperclip clicks into place. Proceed, the judge says, and the next voice waits to stand. The judge folds his hands. Mr. Carter, you didn't miss a sign. You missed people. No sermon, just wait. A chair leg grates as Mr. Russo rises. He doesn't straighten his flag pin. He doesn't clear his throat. My brother's name is on a bridge 2 towns over, he says, holding up a small photo. 2 soldiers in sun-bleached fatigues. Gold Star isn't a perk. It's a chair at a table that stays empty. I'm not asking for a hammer. I'm asking you to know what you stepped on. Tyler looks at the picture as if it might burn through the gloss. His voice, when it comes, has no edge. I saw an open space, he says. I didn't see this. He swallows. I didn't look. The judge nods once. Papers shift beneath his palm. Here is the court's position. Fines for parking and noise will be set at the minimum, on conditions. He raises one finger. First, you will apologize here and now to Mrs. Delgado and to the parking officer you mocked. Not for appearances, for accuracy. A second finger. Within 7 days, you will submit confirmation from the sheriff's office that the disabled placard was surrendered and that you have read and signed acknowledgement of the pool vehicle policy. He pauses. Frank lifts a hand. Your Honor, penalize me. I let that tag sit. I let the keys go out. His voice lands awkwardly, half plea, half shield. The habit of adulthood, the judge replies, is not transferable. Today belongs to your son. A third finger. You will record a single-take video. No soundtrack, no edits, stating precisely what you did, why it was wrong, and tagging the officer you misrepresented. You built a public slight, you will build a public repair. Silence doesn't feel empty now. It feels expectant. Tyler turns to Mrs. Delgado first. He doesn't touch the microphone. I played music loud at 2 in the morning, he says, looking at her, not past her. Your husband needed quiet. I made it hard. I'm sorry. She nods without softness or spite, as if checking a box that should never have been there. He faces the officer. I cut a video to get laughs at your expense. It showed one angle. I'm going to post the truth and pin it. The young officer blinks like someone coming out of fluorescent light. Heard, he says, nothing more. The judge writes, slow strokes. The court's order will reflect those terms, he says. Failure to comply returns us to the schedule of penalties. Compliance closes the ledger. No applause, no groans. Only the dry pop of the judge's pen cap and the rustle of carbon copies separating. He looks back to Tyler, voice softer without losing shape. Statutes draw lines. Decency fills the space between them. Choose it. Tyler nods once. The headphones on the table seem smaller now, less like armor, more like a tool that can be put away. Clerk, the judge says, sliding the signed page forward, set a review hearing. The clerk notes a date, paper crisp under her nail. The decision stands there in ink. Conditional, exacting, human. The bailiff opens the side gate. People shift. The room exhales. And for the first time all morning, the quiet doesn't judge. It holds. He comes back on a gray morning without the headphones, a simple folder under his arm, shoes quiet on the tile. The clerk calls the case. The flag barely stirs in the conditioned air. "Status check," the judge says. Tyler lays out papers, edges aligned. The clerk reads, "Confirmation from the sheriff's office. Disabled placard surrendered, receipt stamped, written acknowledgement of the pool vehicle policy with his signature and his father's, notation that Deputy Carter sat for an internal interview. Not scandal, not headlines, just responsibility recorded in ink." "The video?" the judge asks. "It's up," Tyler answers. "One take, no music. I named what I did and why." He doesn't look at the floor when he says it. The parking officer is present, cap tucked under one arm. He watches the judge, then turns to Tyler. "Accepted," he says. A beat. "Most folks don't show." The judge marks compliance, then finds a reduced per order. The clerk slides a fresh sheet across the bench. "New 311 complaints. Same block," she says. "Different vehicle. Camera shows a sedan with a County Sheriff Academy sticker." Brows lift. The judge reads, then scans the room. "Mr. Russo?" The veteran stands with the care of a man who has learned to move through stiffness. "Noise travels," he says, faint smile at one corner. "So does example. Our street's listening." The judge nods. "This court can't police every midnight speaker," he says, steady. "But it can expect the first person in the chain to behave." He looks at Tyler. "You started something. Make sure it spreads the right way." He signs the order. Conditional satisfaction upon proof already filed. Remainder of penalties suspended. The sound is only a dry scratch of pen on paper, but it feels like a door latch settling. Mrs. Delgado steps to the aisle as people rise. "My husband slept through this weekend," she tells Tyler, not whispering, not performing. "Thank you." "You're welcome," he says, and it lands like a promise instead of a line. Frank waits by the rail, hands empty. Tyler meets his eyes and nods. No plea for rescue, no flinch. Just two adults in the same light. On the table, the headphones sit closed and silent. He places them in his backpack and zips it. A small, final motion. As he leaves, he passes the wall sign without glancing up. "Respect the court," and doesn't need the reminder. In the hall, the air is cooler. Paper folders murmur in passing. Somewhere far off, a copier starts and stops. The judge's last words hang in the listeners who shuffle toward elevators and daylight. Justice isn't the loudest voice in the room. It's the person who quietly does the next right thing. For today, the ledger balances without triumph or humiliation. Whether it stays that way will be measured in ordinary nights, in quiet driveways, in the space a young man leaves open because he finally sees who stands in it.